Unbounded Greatness. I'll start with a small apology. We had a massive outage, a steamer outage on the coast this evening, so we normally run two. And I'm very, very pleased tonight. Unbounded Greatness is a weekly program every Tuesday night where we talk to people who have reached the top of their game in their profession. And we talk about the mindset that creates greatness in a person and the actions that that person took, from which we can all gain inspiration because we're all learning from each other. And what we aim to do, this is a global platform. We've had Steve Mesler, we've had Steve Mesler, an international Olympian on here. We've had people from Australia, a magazine editor. We've had a UK-based theatre director. And returning to the arts tonight, it is my absolute privilege to be joined with Anthony Mbithi, whom I've known for probably about 3 or 4 years. Anthony, it is always a pleasure to see you. Welcome to Unbounded Greatness. You're a theatre director, you're a storyteller, you're currently producing 2 TV shows, my understanding is Kovu, and another one which you'll remind me of. I'm sorry, I'm rushed to get there. Absolute pleasure to see you.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Yeah, pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Pleasure is mine. Nice to see you too.
So Anthony, the first thing I'd like to hear from you, and I think everyone would like to hear from you, you call yourself a storyteller. It seems something that's kind of close to your heart. What do you mean when you say you're a storyteller, and how did you enter, what drew you into the tough world of theatre, and how is it that you made a difference and are now such a well-known director? What got you started there?
Well, I would say thank you very much first, Mark, for this invite. I'm very much humbled to be part of this session. And the fact that as a people, we are made to tell stories, because basically our way of communication is by speech. Sometimes it's by actions, but speech stands out. So hence storytelling. And storytelling for me has always been something that has been dear, in the sense that as a way of communication and as a way of expression, it is inevitable for one to find themselves telling one story or another to the people or to themselves, because storytelling is both ways, to self and to others. So as a medium, theater to me stood out because theater is very deliberate, in the sense that you can tell very sensitive stories without being judged through the eyes of a character or through the eyes of the story of the writer, and be able to communicate to a big number of audience without feeling that like you're invading personal spaces, or without the audience feeling like they're being judged, because they are watching a character telling a story that they can relate to. And in so doing, that makes theater something very unique. So I found that very interesting, because I could resonate with that easily. I could I could relate with that very easily. So me being a storyteller and being a theater lover, found some balance in each other, and it felt so natural to me just to incline towards that. And that is how it began, because even like way back in primary school, we would have plays, like role plays. Let's play the farmer and the kids who come to steal mangoes and stuff like that. And we are kids. And we would do role plays during the break times, and it was so much fun. And I remember I used to look forward to games time, to PE time, to break time, just to go to the field and do some role plays with some other amazing kids. We didn't know that was theater then, but it was. It was abstract because we would use the grass that is growing in the field and make huts and make small things and everything was everything. If we say this is a house, it was a house in our minds, and we made it look like a house, and we'll walk into the tree and climb to the roof in the tree. Everything was everything. So that feeling of being able to go back to childhood, even in this time, or being able to go into a different space in character, I found that very attractive. Theater is one thing that you can be able to achieve that through.
I hear a lot of freedom in what you describe, which is very beautiful. And I love that. Everything was everything. Did you have a tough childhood? Escaping something? Was it a passion because there was something you were running away from, or it just ignited a creative spirit in you?
Wow. I may not have realized if I was escaping from something or I was running towards something. But either way, I was running.
Yes. So tell
yes.
me about that. Look, it's notoriously difficult as well. Any creative, it's not an easy life. And I'm sure that there were times when rational people in your family, for example, said, "Your kid, you want to go and what?" Did you get those sort of reactions? And what got you through?
Yes, I did. I did. In my most deliberate days, let me use that word, when you're conscious about the decisions that you make, and you're seriously thinking about theater as a career, storytelling as a way of life, and as a way to put bread on the table and be able to grow in it, and all that. There was a lot of conflict, especially from family, because in very good light, your family would want you to succeed. But you see, success is relative and happiness is a must. I chose to remain happy. And my happiness was in the things that are not, I would say, tangible in the sense, or in the sense of this is this. It's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to look like this. But I wanted something that was challenging, that felt like, okay, this is new. I don't know where it's going. I don't know how I'm gonna feel in the next moment, but I believe it's gonna be something big and greater. Theater gave me that. Film gave me that. Performing arts gave me that. And the challenge was, I remember one of my very close family members actually asked me, because I had an 8 to 5, they asked me, how can you leave a career for a hobby?
Wow.
It made me think, and for real, for the next few years, there was a lot of uncertainty, and even doubted my decision to go full-time on theater. I did doubt it because things were not working out. You do plays after plays, shows after shows, and you have very little to show for it. And sometimes you really have to struggle to put everything in place. But I kept on going and going, the consistency. And sometimes you'd find, for real, you don't even have the strength to, but because you've been doing it consistently, and there's so many people walking right beside you and behind you and with you, you feel like you just can't let them down. You now ride on their energy because they so much believe in you. But you as a person, you're in a very dark place at that particular time, until it all dawns back again into something, and then you have another beautiful flower blooming, and it gives you hope to want to go on again. So some of those things are the ones that I look at, and say those are challenges that I went through, but they ended up very beautiful lessons again that I still treasure today.
That's very inspiring to hear both of your struggle towards greatness, but also the dark times, and to hear you being open about it. But then to hear you say that you look back on them fondly now and say, well, I gained so much, as if it gave you inner strength. And you used the word consistency, persistence. That's probably very inspiring for people who might be in theatre right now, listening to this, going, hell, I'm not getting the work, I'm doing shows, and then coins in my pocket. Talk to us about that. What would you say to somebody who's close to giving up?
I think I missed on that. Our audio is a little bit.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
What would you say to somebody who might be close to giving up? I heard you talk about struggle, but I heard you say that somehow I think I'm hearing you say that the struggle, you look back now on it and say that was worth it. That was part of the process. What would you say to inspire a young person in theatre right now who is in that place, in that tough place of what am I doing?
Yes.
What would you say to them?
I would say that the experiences that we go through in performing arts are very unique, and them being very unique doesn't mean that we should forget about the rest of the world. We should look at our experiences as just that, because everyone is going through something, and those experiences are the same experiences that are going to make you who you're going to be. Nothing else, because that's all that is coming your way. So you must find some strength within yourself to look at your experiences with a very positive eye and very positive attitude, because you won't get any other experiences apart from those ones. Those are the ones that are coming your way. So no matter how dark they look, no matter how deep you feel like you've sunk into some space that you're not sure, it's okay. Allow yourself to feel that. And in the midst of all that feeling, find yourself some feathery space. I call it the elbow space. Yeah, where you can still be able to swing and feel like up to this end, I'm okay. Find that space. It's something that no one else will ever do for you. It's just you. And when you find yourself with that feathery or elbow space, that becomes your small space of inspiration, your small spot of hope, where you can be constantly looking up to or going to, and with time, because everything, again, you can't beat time. With time, it only gets better, but with consistency. Just remain in that spot, keep doing what you're doing, consistently, because again, when the opportunity presents itself to you, one thing you have to be is ready. You have to be ready.
Talk to us about that, Anthony.
Yeah.
I would agree with you that any unbounded greatness, and anybody listening to somebody who's achieved what you have, that's a powerful point. I'd love to hear more about that preparation that comes before the opportunity, not the other way around. You've got to be ready. Talk to us about what that meant and what did you do to be ready for when that time came.
Wow. One thing, I'll give you my experience because that's the best that I know. I have realized that this readiness is something that many of the performing artists take for granted. Let me give you an example of a musician. When they don't have a gig, they'll be practicing their chords, vocals, their drums, their guitars. When a visual artist doesn't have an exhibition to do or to attend, he'll be or she will be doing painting, they will be working on projects. Actors, most of them, not all, when they don't have a show, they are somewhere drinking or just talking or doing stuff. Most of them, they're not getting ready. I won't say I got lucky. I would say I worked hard every single time, show after show, show after show, just getting ready until at a point whereby anytime one would talk about theater within the region that I lived, it would be hard for my name to escape 2 or 3 people by just the mention of theater. Why? Because you think theater, you think so and so.
Yes.
Consistency.
Yes.
So that is getting ready. When an opportunity came, people are looking for, do you know where we can find someone who does so and so? That's what it is. So I wouldn't say we get lucky. We don't get lucky. Opportunity finds you when you're ready.
I couldn't agree more. And that's a very common thread with Olympians that we've had on the program, with magazine editors who are famous in Australia, for example, one in Canada, another in the UK. That same thread of don't get lucky, you dedicate consistently to the job, and sooner or later, opportunity comes knocking, and your name comes up, and you're there.
Right.
When the time comes to impress, they say, "Okay, Anthony, read that script." You built the style of the artist. Let me ask you a question. I've had the absolute privilege of working with you. What is your mindset? What was your mindset in preparing? Did you always believe one day that you would become a director and you'd be running shows the size of the... I've been to your shoots and we'll talk a little bit more about that. You have a large team of people working under you now and a lot of equipment, which baffles me, but you certainly know what you're doing. What was the mindset? You must have been really pretty obsessed. Is internet may have frozen? We're just checking. I've got a frozen screen. Is it our side or Anthony's side? Well, we're still live. Let's hope that Anthony can solve his internet issue. We've got a frozen screen at the moment. I think one of the words I'm hearing Anthony speak, he said the word consistency about 3 or 4 times. And I do think that that's a consistently consistent word that comes up in Unbounded greatness in terms of what people have done and what they do to become successful. And I also will give you a story while we're hoping that Anthony reconnects about luck. And the best one I've heard was a very famous golfer who won the Masters in America, and when the interviewer said to him, "Oh, that was a pretty lucky shot there on the last hole," and he said back to the interviewer, "Yeah, the more I practice, the luckier I get." And I think that that's a common thread. I think most people who achieve greatness know that it's not luck, it's about consistent practice, application to what you really want to do, to a point where you yourself really, truly, deeply believe in yourself and you know you've earned the right to be there. So I do hope that Anthony comes back because I wanted to talk to him a little bit more about something that I've noticed. I've had the privilege on a number of occasions of being invited to Anthony's set. I'm just wondering if my assistant could call Anthony and see if he can get back online. I'm just wondering if my assistant could call Anthony and see if he can get back on. So I've had the privilege of watching Anthony work. First of all, I must say, in a number of shoots I might add, and he has really, really come far. He is now the director of a show called Maza. He's the director of a show called Kovu. He's in demand. He is a very, very busy film director and TV director. And each time I've watched him work, I have admired the complexity of what was going on. There are so many people on the set. There are so many individual people doing so many individual jobs, from the guy clipping the board to so many lighting technicians and camera setups and camera angles. And you can't help but sit there and notice that the director has so many things, from lighting to sound, the look of the actor, the extracting the magic moment from and with the actor, having great relations with the actor to get the best out of people, noticing any noises or any inconsistencies on the set. There is such a lot of pressure, and at the same time, this all has to be delivered accurately to a very, very high standard. Look, Anthony Mbithi has reached international standard in Kenya, and it's really beautiful to see the quality of his directing and the Kovu, for example, production. And that's something that I know that Anthony can be proud of, and I'm sure that all of us are very proud of Anthony's achievements, and I certainly am. But what has always amazed me, I hope you come back soon, Anthony, because I really want to ask you this so everybody can hear it. What's amazed me is all this pressure, and I've seen it time and time again. Remember, the clock's ticking. He has got to deliver a finished product in a relatively short space of time. A lot of pressure, a lot of people. Actors have good days, actors have bad days. A lot of people running around in the set, and I've seen Anthony time and time again. And what really, really impresses me is how incredibly in control and how patient he is. How patient he is and how much trust he appears to have in the people who work around him. He has a crack team, obviously. There is a great energy on his sets, and how incredibly calm Anthony remains, and how he is very patient with his actors. And that is extraordinary amidst all this tension to get a product. And you would watch Anthony work and think it's easy. And that is the mark of a true professional, when in such a lot of energy and a lot of action and a lot of coordinated parts, all of which can go wrong, all of which can blow it. And the person in charge is so incredibly patient and in control. And that is the mark of a truly great, unbounded greatness at work. My people are just on the line with Anthony now to see if we can get his internet reconnected so that we can get him back with us. But suffice it to say how incredibly proud I am to call Anthony a friend, and how deeply I respect his fabulous work in both theatre and in directing international quality shows. Tell me what? Anthony's back. How do I find him? Just sorry?
Yes, Mike.
Hi, you're back.
Yes, I'm back.
I can hear you. Did you hear anything I just said?
No, right now I can hear you.
So we're actually now running out of time. We've got about 9 minutes. But what I was just talking about, just so that you can hear what our audience just heard, I've said that I had the honour and privilege to watch you work on set on a number of occasions. I haven't got your visual yet either, Anthony. I can hear you and you can hear me. I can't see you yet.
I can't see you too. I can see you, but I'm trying to...
Okay.
To
So
get...
I've seen you with the pressure of all of the elements of directing a show like Kovu, like Maza. You have lights, you have camera angles, you have people running around on set. There really is a large number of people on your team, many more than people would the other side of the camera think were running around your team.
Yeah.
You have sound, you have your attention is on any stray noise or any problem with lighting or makeup. There's some sweat on your actor. You have actors, of course, who are human beings. You have who have their good days, their bad days. Your job, as you know, is to gain the excellence out of their performance, and it has always struck me and continues to strike me how incredibly calm you remain. And yet we both know you're under massive pressure, Anthony, to deliver a high-quality, international standard product on time. There's no second prize. There's no second go do it again. It's like, look, this is up to standard or it's not. It's a huge pressure. And it always amazes me how calm you are with everybody and how patient you are, which to me is the mark of a truly international professional at work. Anthony, how do you remain so calm amid the pressure?
Well, I've never really thought about it in the sense of how I do that. I would say is part and parcel of the person that I am. And apart from that, there's always that voice at the back of your mind. Why are you doing this? Because you want to get the very best out of it. So you must keep reminding yourself that. And how do you get the best out of it? By first making sure everything is in its right element. Film is a very patient, is a game for the patient, I would say that.
Right.
And if you're not patient, then you're bound to miss out on very important elements. Because sometimes you go to a location, everything is set. You had your recce, you had everything well done. But then on that particular day, someone comes on set with a flu. You had nothing to do with that. Or the sun just decides it's going to stay shiny and you need to have some shade. So you need to get a particular shot, so you need to put up an artificial cover so that the actors don't get too shiny. That is going to take time. But if you don't take time to do and implement those very tiny details, you're going to end up with an image that doesn't look so nice on screen.
Right.
That image is going to last for, say, 1 minute on air, but then it will not outlast. It will stay in the minds of the viewers for always. So, is it worth running away from 30 or 40 or 1 hour of preparation just to get 1 minute of good quality, something that is going to be memorable? If the answer is yes, then be patient and let's do it. The performance, if it's not believable, why are you bringing it up on screen? Because the viewer is going to remember this particular performer for what they did, how they did, what they said, how they say it. And if you're not able to be patient with this actor because he can't get his lines, he can't get his particular emotion that you're trying to point them towards to achieve it, if you're not patient with them, then what are you doing? You're going to miss out on a moment that a viewer is going to hold to dearly. And that's it. So you have to keep reminding yourself, why are you doing this? Who are you doing it for? You're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the love of the person person who's going to watch this show. So that calls for patience.
Great answer. Anthony, what do you look for in an actor? Tell us about, without naming names, of course, what are the qualities that you look for in a really outstanding actor? And you say, I really want to work with that woman, or I really want to work with that man. What is it you look for? We've got 3 minutes left.
What I'm looking for in an actor?
Yeah.
Honesty of the moment.
Wow.
Them being able to be honest with the very particular moment that they are playing. Right. The truth of that moment. That, I think, is the number one thing that when I work with a character, let me use the word character, I look for that in particular. Because many people or many actors are not able to articulate the truth of the character that they play. So if an actor is able to find or lead the character they are playing into their truth, that then becomes magic. And that is what I look for.
It's a little like human beings, really, isn't it? We love authentic people, we love truthful people, and we see the magic when somebody's being themselves and being real. That's beautiful.
Very true.
Anthony, we're
very
just
true.
about out of time. I just wanted to say thank you very, very much for being on Down to Greatness. What last comment would you have to anybody out there who's wanting to do what you do? How do they get to where you got to? What are the words? Consistency has come up a lot tonight. 3 other words that you would suggest to anybody.
I would say love.
Wow.
For what you do,
yeah,
and for yourself.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah.
You must love what you do, and you must love yourself, because you're the one who's going to fuel yourself to do it. That is one. I would also say research in experience, research in other mediums.
Yep.
Is very important, because without that, you're not able to sharpen your skill, because talent is talent. Skill makes talent come out really, really nice, almost effortlessly.
Do the work.
So if you don't put the right research into your talent, then you're not going to sharpen a skill that is going to help you get to where you want to be.